Hey, this is Timo, and this is another video of my project where I'm talking and building my old Lego. And today we're going to do a space set. It's a set 6848, and it's bearing the name Strategic Pursuer. And it came out in 1988, and the 1988 catalog is the oldest catalog that I still have that still has a cover. And I just did a quick calculation, and so the Lego catalogs, I think they always came out on the end of the previous year, like around Christmas time. I think the sets were already available around Christmas time, and of course that was like a smarter strategy of Lego. So, and it means that it came out in 87 December, and in 87 December I was just 4 years old. So the fact that this one still has its cover, it's quite a miracle, because it's 36 years old. And yes, there are some, I don't know if you see it, but there are some pen stripes, like I guess I was drawing a bit on it or something, but it's still great that it's still intact, more or less. And yes, so let's check. This is the first time I opened the 1988 catalog, which is like really from a different time. I think in between the 80s and the 90s, there was still like a huge change in how Lego was. I mean, look at all this great stuff here. Just a quick look. All this night stuff that Lego doesn't really have anymore. Great stuff. Oh, there's already, you see, there's already a page loose. Maybe I can still repair it. It's also very interesting that, I don't know. Yes, Lego Space. So on this loose page, oh, there it is. I want to be a bit careful not to fold it too much, this catalog, because I see it's quite already severing. And there's a set, and I don't know if it's anywhere in the pictures. Oh, but I see the pictures are quite minimalistic, by the way. There's like an amazing set also. I don't have it, the space monorail. I only have the airport shuttle monorail, which is basically the same system, but this space monorail was the first one which introduced this monorail system. And this is 88, so I guess it was introduced in 87, the monorail system. Yeah. So let's be very careful with this very old booklet. I'm doing my best to start those videos that are just only about the catalogs very soon. But I think, as mentioned before, I have to build something over the table to be able to make a top shot, because I think that's really a must if I'm doing the catalogs, that you can just have a straight look on it. So let's start with the build. Okay, this is a long stretched constructions again, and yeah. So I think Lego started first in the 80s or in the late 70s. I don't remember anymore. It started with with space, Lego Space, and then they had this famous helmets without a visor, and I think I mentioned it briefly in one of my videos. The Lego Movie character Benny is based on that first design, and I think the one I'm building now is from the second, I said it, batch, or the second version of this Lego Space. So, and Lego Space still, I think it still didn't have names. Let me see quickly. No, the Blacktron was already introduced. I think it was introduced in '88 because all the sets are new. It's a quite famous collector's item stuff, the Blacktron Space. So I think Blacktron was the first space theme. Before it was just space. And yes, and what I'm building now is like the second version of the space when they introduced the helmets with the visor. In 1 second I will show you. So, and this kind of helmets, I think they were reintroduced. They were introduced in around that time, '88, or maybe 1 year, 2 years earlier. And that's, of course, it was nice because then you could also just give those visors different colors. So this one is a bit more like bluish than the more common one. And yeah. So, and it's always the same story with the space sets. They are mostly like birthday presents, because I was not really so much into the space theme. I was just basically only into the trains theme, and maybe a bit also, no, I'm also into the city theme, Lego City theme. Yes, but it's still nice that I got those space sets, because now I can show you guys how they were back in the days, and I'm happy to build them with you. Yeah, so 88, I was like 4, getting 5. When this set came out, when this catalog, and that's yeah, crazy to think about. I was really young back then. I was just really like still a toddler, you know, almost. And so it's kind of a robot that I'm building here. Yes, and like I said before already, like I mentioned before already, Lego Space was often like the place where new pieces, new bricks were introduced. And you can already see it because they have just like odd shapes in Lego Space, like these elements. I think they were also introduced in Lego Space, and then they were just starting to appear in all the other Lego sets also. So we're already on the half. It's a Thursday, so a bit a shorter video today. I'm trying always the Sunday videos. The limit for me is like they should not be longer than like 59 minutes. That's really the max. I'm trying to keep them on 45 minutes. And the Thursdays videos, the shorter videos, I try to keep them around 15 or 20 minutes. But of course, it's not always possible to follow that rule exactly. But I think that those lengths are duration times are decent. It's just basically like what I like to watch by myself, on YouTube. I also like it, when I'm dinnering or eating something or just want to relax a bit. I like to watch these more longer YouTube videos. And then I also, when I see it's an hour or more, then I'm always a bit like, okay. But 45 minutes is always like a perfect length for, whatever activity I'm doing parallel, simultaneously. And oh, I'm going too fast now again. So basically the entire thing, you're building it upside down, and then on the end you're turning it again back. I'm, by the way, quite surprised about this set that all those white bricks are still pretty white. There's not, in this set, there's not really like a particular brick that is like standing out to be totally yellowish, So yeah, that's still something I don't really get, like why some white bricks are totally yellow and why some are just fine. And I don't think it has to do that one pointed more to the sun or something, and the other one lesser to the daylight, to the affected by UV light, But yeah, that's still like a bit like a miracle how that works. But it's a pity because yeah, some bricks are really yellow and they actually should be replaced, But yeah. That's the next project, to replace all the decolored bricks. So where are we now? Yes, and then we're already done. Show a funny picture of has a weird folding technique. Okay, they show a funny picture of how the minifigure is should just step in the vehicle, in the robot. I don't know what's the purpose of that picture, but yeah. And this one has to go in one of the hands. All right. Did I do that? Did I make a mistake? Okay. I'm just a bit surprised because there's a lot of space. If you put a minifigure like this, then there's a lot of space behind him. But okay. Okay. There's a lot of gaps, a lot of possibilities for oh. It's not very airtight, the spaceship, the robot. I mean, there's like gaps everywhere. So there's also a gap, I don't know. He can only sit there with his suit on, but it's funny because in the picture he's actually lifting his visor. He's lifting his visor there, so I don't know if Lego thought about the law of vacuum out of space, you know, like, but yeah, okay. There's like a space for imagination, of course. Maybe he's on a planet where there's still some oxygen around, I don't know. Yes, that's another build. The oldest build we did till now. I think all the sets were from the 90s, and this is the first one that is from the 80s. And yeah. I'm not sure what is my oldest set, but I also have some set that I got later from I mean later, like somewhere in the 90s, early 90s, which are dating back from late 70s, I think. I got them like used from the King's Day market, the Queen's Day market it was called back then. Which is, by the way, King's Day. Queen's Day used to be on the 30th of April in Holland, celebrating the birthday of the Queen Mother, because the back then Queen had her birthday somewhere in the winter, I think, and she decided to continue celebrating her mother's birthday, which they already did earlier back then. But when she became queen, she decided to continue celebrating on the 30th of April, Queen's Day. And the king is born on 27th of April, so that's why they moved it then 3 days ahead. And in the time that you're watching this video, it's somewhere around the 27th of April. After, I think. And yeah, and I bought some Legos early 90s on this kind of markets where the kids are selling their old toys, and that's why I also have some sets dating back from early 80s, late 70s. But I still have to find those bricks together, and the problem is I don't have those manuals, so I have to do it all over the internet, checking and everything. Yeah, so that's enough for today. That's another build. I hope you liked it, and I have to ask again, please subscribe. It's very important for my channel to grow, and I wish you a very good morning, afternoon, evening, night, and hope to see you soon in the next video. Goodbye. Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.